What is going on, guys? It is Dylan here. Today we'll be going over a ticker symbol analysis on the ticker symbol OEG, Orbital Energy Group. Before we get into the price action, the levels, the indicators, and much more, what I think the chart will do, where I think it might go, I just want to let you know that I am bullish on the company. I do believe in the company. I really like the sector they're in. I like their CEO. I like their financials projections. I just think it's a good company, but it's definitely been beat down really, really hard by people sector rotating. If I go to the daily, you see a huge run up, and then we got absolutely squashed, and the short sellers start stepping in heavy, and then we had a bearish pennant, and we did bleed from here. And I'm going to go over BNGO for 5 seconds. Almost the same thing that happened on BNGO. Another bearish pennant, which we blooded off after we gapped up and fell down. So it's definitely seen the worst of the sell-off, right? And we gave up that support level right there, which I don't like. I definitely don't like that. I want to see us retest that if we do come there. The next support level you're looking at is that actually it's this. The 363, so we're actually right on that. Keep an eye on that, and then the next support after that would most definitely be right there. Maybe right there, so I'd keep an eye on that 285, but I'd also keep an eye on that 237. So we're going to mark both those up. So those are all the supports I would be looking at if I was in this stock for the price to hopefully stay off and bounce. It's been a very, very bearish couple days though, so let's dive a little deeper. You do see that right away, we broke down from this descending triangle, and from there we tried to regain this support to go back in it. We had a dark cloud cover right there with a very bearish candle, and then we slowly bled off that, and then right here is where we officially kind of turned very, very bearish. Looked like we were about to go to the south, and we broke down from this pennant. You see that we have this upward support where the buyers keep stepping in, and bam, bam, they keep stepping in and picking up the price. And same with this point on the sellers, multiple touch points. So it did collide into the apex where there wasn't a lot of room for the for the pattern to play out. It had to make a move, and it did make a move to the downside, and this definitely could continue to bleed more, but the movement from the downside of this whole pennant was 34% to the downside. So that is very extended. I think it's only a matter of time. If we do pick up this support level and start to consolidate, that would be very, very nice. There's this downward resistance that we definitely need to get a push over, which I will map up. I did not mean to draw that resistance. So let me get my trend line, and you do see right there with this downward resistance, just whenever we get there, the sellers push it down, and it's unable for us to get above there. If you are a short, I mean, it wouldn't be potentially a bad opportunity if the price comes over here and then it rejects right there, gives up that support. Well, if you zoom out, the next support is very, very far. So that wouldn't be a bad shorting opportunity to the downside, buying puts. But this is a very crucial point in my opinion if you're in this stock, just because there's not a lot of support around this range, and there's a gap to fill right here. And when there's a gap to fill, there's no support. It doesn't always mean that we won't stop and consolidate within that range eventually, but more often than not, you do go right through it. But if you do look on the weekly, this is an older company, and we do have some support within this range, which is something to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on that and that. So I just marked up the $2.87 mark and the $3.12 mark. These are all potential bounce points, which I think are possible. We're going to delete all these lines and then hop into the indicators a little more, see what's going on. Right, so the RSI is extremely undersold. I actually probably wouldn't advise to get in a short position or to buy puts on this one yet. It's very, very undersold. If you look in the past when the RSI was like that, if we go back, it's really hard to find. You can see it's it only goes down there, the RSI indicator, if it's very, very undersold, and generally you see a snap out from there. And with the price, not saying that's going to happen, but very, very undersold. So it's definitely out of the norm. If we could see it go lower, I guess nothing's impossible in the stock market, but what I would like to see is this snap out with the price, and generally I want that to be in the 50 to 70 range. So this is way out of my comfort, but for a dip buying opportunity, this is very solid because just historically, when you look at it, we haven't been down there in a while, and this is a good indicator for the longs because you're getting in when the stock's super beat down, the momentum's super beat down. Everyone's selling rather than buying. So that's my thought on the RSI. The volume is extremely dead. We haven't really had any serious volume for a while now, and that did definitely play a role in this bleeding. Um, volume something you definitely want to look for in your stock to be sure that there's still people interested, and there just hasn't been a lot of volume. Maybe some news or some PR will change that, or some bullish momentum. And the volume we have been getting has just been being red. And the one green candle we did get just showed high price rejection, so there's no good in that. We had one right there, but it's just very bearish. We need to really break over that resistance that I did talk about right there. This would be the thing I would be keeping a watch on big time. Just like that. It's a little bit messed up, but you get the gist right there. The price rejects heavy whenever we get there. Simply wicks in a false break right there. I say that would be a little better. Keep an eye on that, right? And to maintain this downward support, we got a downwards resistance. We have a downward support as well. So this is the channel that we are trading in right now. And if we did get a push over, this upwards channel, this upwards resistance right here, this would be very nice for a potential breakout. Also considering the RSI indicator, it's very, very low, but the volume is very low as well. But it has been picking up a little bit. You can see at these levels. Okay, so I do think it'll be pretty crucial to see what we do at this support level right here. If I go to the weekly, so for the weekly, very beat down. There's that support level around that $3.50 range, which I was just talking about. Maybe a little bit up, maybe 360, but that will be on the watch as that is a support on the weekly. I do like to see that. I definitely do like to see that. If it did bounce in the weekly, this would be the spot. Let's go back in the 1 hour just to kind of wrap things up. You could just see whenever we fall down, right? We lose some ground, and then we rally for like a half a second, like a couple hours, and then we just go right back down to the downtrend. And that's really the trend that we've been doing. We just really can't set a significant rally. And right here, we had not bad of a rally, but we couldn't even get above this resistance line right there. We couldn't even get back to the support that we were trading at before this dump. So that's my thought on the price action. We just need to see a significant bounce back, almost like this, and then some consolidation, but not trading sideways like we are right here. Trading sideways. And then from there, we kind of broke down from that. A little bit of actually a wedge formation, descending wedge. And we broke down from that. That was a bearish pattern. We bled from that, and that helped us bleed off the pennant. So it's definitely been a lot of fuel to the fire to add to this downwards moving stock. We are below the 50-day MA, this blue line right here. I want to see this, I want to see us get above that. That'll look very good for the bulls on the stock. You see right there, we rejected, and right there. The 9-day MA, this red line, is a short-term moving average. It's very well for the short term of things, and we are above that. It's not too bad. I like being above that. Nonetheless, as you can see right here, we rejected it heavy. We are barely above that, but this is a good short-term support / resistance. But it does seem whenever that's above us, we just can't keep it for long, right? And then we use it as like a conveyor belt to push us down the whole time, instead of using it as an escalator, just riding it up. So that's what I want to see on the moving averages. We are below the 200-day MA, which is my favorite support / resistance. But on the daily, we are coming very, very close from touching that. That is very interesting. I definitely really like the 200-day MA. This will curl up over time. I know it's 30-something% away right now, but eventually it will curl up. And it will most likely meet this line unless we get a bounce or some consolidation and then it takes off. But eventually it will widen out, and then this will be used as a form of strong support. And if it doesn't, then that definitely will not look good on the stock. But I do anticipate this being good support, as we haven't used this since back here. So with that being said, guys, I do appreciate you sticking to this point of the video. I definitely don't want to waste any of your time. If you want to like, subscribe, and see more videos like this, I would appreciate it, as I am making these videos daily. So with that being said, guys,